Now, there are some problems with that linear model of communication. The first problem is that it's just too simplistic. It's just too simplistic. And the idea of communication being, a nice, neat, straight line where the audience has some, but not very much feedback, or opportunity to provide feedback just doesn't make sense in an age of social and user-generated media. That idea of, we wait to hear a message and then provide feedback through, one or two channels. We know that just doesn't make sense anymore, whether it be comments on a news site, comments on a Facebook post. We can provide feedback in a range of ways, and we're going to be looking at some of those over the course of the semester. And as a result, these linear models of communication attribute far too much power to the sender and too little power to the receiver. Linear models of communication are very much focused on what it is that the sender was wanting to communicate. How audiences interpret things and the many and varied ways in which audiences interpret media messages is not really given that much attention. Not really given that much attention. And if it is, it's usually in terms of noise. So what was it that prevented the audience understanding the message that was supposed to be conveyed? Linear models of communication also fail, and this is the big one for us. It fails, or the linear models fail to account for the social and cultural context of communication. Quite simply, linear models of communication don't really explain what meaning communication creates, or how the media constructs meaning, or why the media has the impact it does. So those what, how, and why questions are the things that we're going to focus on over the course of this semester. And it's these what, how, and why questions that are going to dominate our thinking and our activities in KCB 101 this semester. For example, why would some people be offended by this ad? Now, this is an ad for BMW used cars that was internationally controversial because it drew parallels between buying a used car and having relations, having sex with a woman who, judging by this photo, was extremely young. So a lot of people were not only were they highly critical and condemning of BMW, but for drawing parallels between a used car and a woman, so viewing women as property to be used and passed around, but also for some, I think some pretty thinly veiled allusions to pedophilia here as well. The girl in this photo, I think, looks quite young, and a number of people in their criticism of this ad also indicated that as well. Now, BMW copped a lot of flack for this campaign, and I think justifiably so, and it was later withdrawn. But at the same time, some people might find a film like 50 Shades of Grey, or a book like 50 Shades of Grey, the 50 Shades of Grey franchise, quite exciting, and might be very interested in reading or watching what goes on in 50 Shades of Grey. Linear models of communication don't explain to us why people like a band such as Coldplay. And I wish someone could tell me, because I don't understand it either. I've probably just offended half the class here, but I make the joke to demonstrate that I don't like Coldplay, but that's not important. In doing media text analysis, we need to keep our value judgments to one side. So, we can't just spend our time talking about media text or media products that we like. We can't spend the semester talking about our favourite band. We can't spend the semester talking about our favourite film, because that will inevitably lead us to value judgments. What I think of Coldplay is actually irrelevant. The fact is that millions of people worldwide have loved this band for a long time. Why? Why do they love this band, and why have they loved them for so long? That's the sort of question that we want to address in a unit such as CYB101. Why is Grumpy Cat funny? Why are cat videos, cat memes on the internet funny? Why do people spend so much time not only creating the videos and the memes, but then circulating them? What is it about? Cute animals saying and doing strange things that make us laugh so much. How did a song like Gangnam Style become such a huge hit in Western countries? What is it about this song, which is largely sung or rapped, if you like, in Korean, that the vast majority of Westerners don't understand, apart from, a few bits in the chorus, that, made it, up until recently, the most watched YouTube video in the history of YouTube? Linear models of communication can't explain that. They can't explain the how questions associated with the popularity of certain media texts. Linear models of communication can't explain the enormous popularity of a show such as Game of Thrones. So why people will wait months anticipating the release of a new series, and as soon as that series is made available, we'll go to great lengths to access it, either legally or illegally, in order to view the most recent episode as quickly as possible after its screening in the United States, to be able to then spend enormous amounts of time talking about it, either to their friends face-to-face or to an enormous fan community online. Of course, a linear model of communication can't explain why I die laughing every time I see the Compare the Market ads. It's probably because I've got the mental age of a 12-year-old child at some points. But, why, again, we go back to the funny cat videos. Why are animals behaving like humans inherently funny? What does that say culturally and socially?